Hi, I'm Carmen Michael Smith, welcoming you to another episode of Heart of the Moment. So, this week was the Grammys, and millions tuned in to watch my fave, Trevor Noah, host the Grammys, and the Clark sisters received a Lifetime Achievement Award, which was amazing. And that happened before the telecast. And Jay-Z received the Global Impact Award. And many are talking about his speech, and that is the conversation happening on the outside. But I believe that on the inside, this week, there's a whole bunch of other conversations that we're not privy to. And those conversations concern ourselves and our work and what we are not doing. We look at these awards in award season, and they are celebrating the works of different individuals. And at the same time, we look and say, well, I haven't done enough. And what else could I be doing? And I've got to hustle harder, and I've got to get this bag, and I've got to get to where Jay-Z is, and I've got to have a long career and have all these Grammys like the Clark sisters, and I've got to be like Beyonce, and many people have made up in their mind that I want to be the next person to have the most Grammys, and that's fine. But these conversations that we're having on the inside are harming our progress to move forward. They are stunting our growth because what they're truly based in is this comparison. And we know that comparison kills. It's detrimental to us. There is a scripture that says we compare ourselves against ourselves. And many people like to say that, we're comparing where we are to where someone else is. And that's what many of us do. But underneath that whole I'm not where Jay-Z is that I'm comparing me to me. I'm comparing myself against myself. Think of it this way. I recently saw this long jump. I don't really know much about it. I had to research just to talk about it. And there was this clip of this runner who made it almost to the end, and everyone was so excited. And so I began to watch these long jumps. And it said in the video that I watched that they measure from the forward edge to the impression point. And when someone jumps from that forward edge, they land. Someone yelled out 7, because that's where they landed, the impression point. And at the next one, someone yelled out 7.5, and someone yelled out 8. So I'm like, oh, this is really cool. But we don't do that. We compare ourselves against ourselves. We don't measure from the forward edge to the impression point. We measure from the impression point. We compare ourselves against ourselves. We say, here we are. I could have done better, or I should have done better. Here we are. Why didn't we make it just 3 more inches? Here we are. And so we begin to compare ourselves from where we are. It doesn't matter to many of us that we have raised families or are raising families and still doing the thing. We look at where we are now with the family doing the thing and say, I should be working harder. I should be further than I am. It doesn't matter that you've lost 30 pounds or 15 pounds or whatever your goal was, that you're halfway there. We don't measure ourselves from there. We measure ourselves from where we are and say, yeah, I've lost 30 pounds, but I really wanted to lose 60. We compare ourselves against ourselves. And what it really does is it blocks our growth because it blocks us from the spiritual flow. We don't turn around and say, I started at 0 and now I've made it to 7. I started at 190 pounds and now I'm at 185. Yay. We don't say I started from the bottom. Now we're here. No, we say now we're here. And how much better we could have been or how much farther we should have gone. And the way that it stunts our growth and our progression is that the universe works on gratitude. Gratitude is the door that opens more. And if we cannot appreciate or even take the time to be grateful for how far we've come, then the passageway forward will only be tougher. And we will arrive there still ungrateful for the progress that we've made. And I also think that even a deeper conversation to that is that of legacy. At the core of this question about what is your legacy, I think that people are really saying, how do I live forever? When I'm gone, I want my life to have meant something and people remember me. I don't want to be forgotten. I want to live forever. I want people to be talking about me for centuries to come like they do all these great people. But as Dr. Maya Angelou told Oprah Winfrey, my dear, I don't know why I did the voice, but you don't yet know what your legacy is, because your legacy is every life that you've touched. And because you will never fully know your legacy, because by the time we are dead and gone, your legacy is everyone who you've impacted. And you don't know that. So you can't control that. And so there's a false sense of, if I do all this stuff, I will live forever. But I'm not so concerned about legacy. I'm concerned about legend. Yes, legend. The story of you that's been coming down through history. The story that starts at the forward edge and then goes to the impression point. All that stuff in between. The story coming down of you through history. That is your legend. That you can control. You can take lemons and make lemonade. The story that you started from the bottom and now you're here. Think about it. Think about how far you've come and all you've had to endure and work through, and trauma and pressure and stress and sickness and dis-ease and all of that. And you're here. That is the stuff that legends are made of. That is you. And I think that if we switch the focus from not something that we cannot control, which is our legacy, to something that we can, turning our lemons into lemonade, that is also an act of gratitude. If all I have is 2 fish, then I'm going to make tuna fish and make sure everyone gets fed. I'm going to figure out a way to. That is the stuff that legends are made of. And so I would say at the heart of the moment, we struggle with control and wanting to live forever. But I will say that you are the captain of your ship. You are not the captain of the sea. You don't control the sea. But that in which you control, your ship, steer it to the best of your ability. Take care of your ship so that it can weather stormy seas, and use your ship in service of others, because that's the stuff that legends are made of. I'm Carmen Michael Smith, encouraging you to let disruption be the catalyst for your liberation.